How is my sound? How's my sound, everyone? Can you hear me? Mic test 1, 2, 3. Sounds good? Okay, thanks, Kak Rod. I'm just gonna get... I forgot something just now. Terlupa sesuatu. Oh yeah, I'm looking for the base for my mini thermal server. Okay. How's everyone today? Kak Rod tengah buat apa tu? Hello, Sister Shuhada. Is my head cut off? I think so. I need to sit down. Hang on. I just need to get hot water because we're gonna do my bread, you know, quick, fast today. If possible, before 1 hour we want to get this settled. One, my kids need something to eat as their afternoon snack, and two, I'm craving for something chocolatey. I mean, who needs any more excuse than that, right? So today we're actually gonna make a variant of my quick and easy soft buns. So, need your duration. So the usual recipe, if you've been making my buns all this while, are very simple pantry ingredients except for the flour which it has to be bread flour. We have water, 250 grams, we have sugar, this is 60 grams, kita buat manis sikit, 60 grams, and that's about 4 tablespoons. And then the yeast, we maintain at 2 teaspoons, and then 1 egg. We will need 30 grams of oil. Any oil is fine. I'm using just minyak kelapa sawit, the usual one, and then half a teaspoon of salt. Plus, the additional thing, I wanted the flavor to be slightly richer, so I'm actually adding in about 20 grams of milk powder. This is new, so basically kita tweak, kita tambah 20 grams milk powder, and kita punya gula, instead of 2 tablespoons, kita jadikan 4. Yeah, alright. And then at the same time, I have here, it's very hot, I have here a mini thermal server, so cute. I don't know if you can see this. Look at that. So this mini thermal server, I'm putting some hot water into it because kita nak proofing kita punya roti cepat sikit. Okay, and then the most critical one of all, chocolate chips. BRB should be hiding in this cabinet. Yep, I've got the chocolate chips. Here we go. And then I have my 10 by 10 baking tin, and of course my non-stick glue, which you can find in cookie dough. Or if you don't like non-stick glue, you can also use whatever you normally use, maybe the spray, or maybe you use just butter or oil, up to you, totally up to you. So this is meant to be quick, easy, fast. Assalamualaikum, Adrina. So as usual, we start off with a clean bowl, right? And then we add in our ingredients. So this part, kita akan masukkan kita punya air. I've already measured this, 250 grams. And then sugar, this time is 60 grams. And then I have my yeast, 2 teaspoons. And we're gonna add, we tare the weighing scale, jadikan dia kosong balik, and kita masukkan 30 grams of cooking oil. Alright, terlebih sikit tak apa, no worries, 35 pun boleh. And this one, we're gonna activate the yeast for 2 minutes. Tangan di sini, 2 minit. speed 2. So for those who just joined, welcome to Quick and Easy Cooking with Mimi. Today this will be quite a long recipe, but for bread this is very quick, I assure you. This was one of my go-to breads. It's one of the things that I love, is like waking up to the aroma of freshly baked bread. And you know how when bread is fresh from the oven, the kids will just attack whatever you bake for them. So I tried so many recipes and I like this one, and when I got my Thermomix, this was my first recipe that I adapted for the Thermomix. So I had to tweak the amount of oil. I reduced from, I think, half a cup to only 30 grams, and then I played around with the quantity of flour to have a balance between how easy it is to manage the dough, easy to manage the dough versus keeping its softness, because wet dough is usually softer. Okay, so while that's happening, what's happening here is I'm actually activating the yeast. Now, the traditional way of making bread, my mom tried making bread a long time ago, and she still talks about it, how she failed. So the traditional way is putting warm water together with the sugar and the yeast and maybe the oil, and then you mix, and then you set it aside, and then you wait until it activates, which can be anywhere, maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, who knows, depends on your yeast, depends on the weather and all sorts of things. So in the first place, if you have never made bread and you don't know how warm the water should be, so it tends to be like a guessing game, which can be very costly, because too hot and your yeast dies, not hot enough and your yeast remains sleeping. But with the Thermomix, very precise, 37C mesti jadi. Okay, so it's almost done. It will be ready. It's counting down now. Hi Adlina. Okay, so kita panggil. Dah bangun dah kita punya yeast. So for those who just joined, what I did was I activated the yeast and I put in the first of the ingredients, which was water, flour. So I have this time, I'm just going to add the rest of the ingredients. It's the bread flour, 430 grams. And then 1 egg, as usual, kita pecahkan dalam mangkok sebelum kita masukkan dalam mixing bowl. Make sure it's nice and fresh. Dah basuh juga telur tu. And then half a teaspoon of salt, and the additional ingredient that I mentioned earlier, which is 20 grams of milk powder. I would recommend that you buy full cream milk powder, the branded ones, and you can use that also to make your condensed milk, because I once bought the generic milk from a baking supply store, and when I made condensed milk with it, it was so sweet and it smelled like candy, and so it made me realize that it probably was not milk 100%. I think it's got a lot of maybe some palm oil and a lot of sugar in it, so it was very sweet also. So from that time on, I would buy my own. I'd buy the branded milk. So now I'm going to set 5 minutes. We are now entering the dough mode. So inilah senangnya pakai Thermomix, tak payah nak tukar-tukar dia punya bowl atau dia punya blade, masuk je semua. I used to have one of those stainless steel, brand goes here, machine for mixing batter and making dough. So if I'm making a cake, then I would use the normal paddle, and then if I have to make, say, meringue, I have to change to the balloon whisk, and then if I want to do bread, then I have to switch to the dough. And you know, sometimes I want to make something and I can't find the dough hook. It's as simple as that, then I end up not doing it. But with the Thermomix, it's so easy. One bowl, one blade, and does it all. It's all here, and you see that I just dump everything. So while waiting, I have a bowl here. The size, what size is this? I'm not sure what size this is, but I've had this for a long time, and it fits the dough just nice. So I'm just gonna add a few drops of oil. You can use your pastry brush, or you can be like me and just use your hands, because we're gonna use our hands to shape our dough anyway. So I've got this oil, and then stand by my baking tin. I'm gonna grease this because now we're gonna shape our dough. So what I like about the cookie dough's non-stick paste is that it already combines both fat and flour. So it's like when you get those recipes that tell you to grease and flour, then you have that in one bowl. And yes, it's very convenient, and because I bake a lot, so I go through this jar fairly quickly. And still, I calculated it's so much cheaper to have my own bread, and the kids would munch on it throughout the day. Much better and much healthier than buying outside. Plus, I also got the news, harga roti nak naik Itu dah naik dah. Dah lama I tak beli, but somehow it spread in social media that certain things naik harga Adlina uses full cream milk powder, some other Fernleaf atau Dutch Lady, the branded ones, yes. Hello, Sharonisa. Sister Mariana, hari ni I akan buat you geram lagi. Sister Mariana ni dah 2 kali dah. First dia tengok I punya, apa nama tu? Strawberry soft. Geram dia, terus buat. And then after that I made, dia pun buat. After that I made apa? What did I make? Oh yeah, peanut butter. Dia pun terus buat pistachio butter. Pistachio. So what I have here is another set of dough that I made just before I went live. So basically, after you're done kneading for 5 minutes, you let it rest just a little bit, because when dough rests, it gives time for the gluten to relax. Dia macam, it's like it starts off as, compressed or in the flour like that. But after you give it some love with your yeast that's been activated, the yeast does its thing, it releases the gases, and the gluten also, it starts to soften and relax. And that's what you get, the stretchy thing that gives the bread the structure. So you'll find it's also easier to work with dough that has rested for at least 5 minutes. So 5-10 minutes is fine. Okay, and what we're gonna do now is to put it inside our oil bowl. Super easy with our Thermomix, our blender that can open up. So it needs a bit of help, so you can actually push the blade just lightly. This will still be sticky, but for those who haven't seen my tutorial last time, I'm going to show you how to deal with sticky dough. So it's starting to fall, and because I'm impatient, I'm actually going to pull it. The blade is already down here, so I can touch the rest of the dough without worry. So it's still very nice, see? There's just a little bit of dough left. Very nice. So this is the difference when the dough has rested. If right after kneading you attempt to take it out, you won't get this result. Okay, and now what all that's left is for me to take out the rest of the mixing knife, I mean. Okay, so just gently do it like this. Yes, the knife is sharp, but inshallah with a little TLC you won't hurt yourself. I've been using the Thermomix for more than 2 years now, and alhamdulillah, no untoward incidents. As long as you follow the instructions and the recipes, you don't suka-suka double the quantity or exceed the dia punya measurement tu in terms of volume, you should be okay. And that's what's nice about cookie dough recipes, because they've all been tested for safety, and also not just for consistency but also safety. So I think that's very important to me. And in case you haven't noticed, kita punya Thermomix dia jalan sikit, dia berjalan, because when the ingredients are cukup, it will vibrate. It's a good sign, and it's fine. But what's important is we keep an eye on it so that it doesn't fall off. Kadang-kadang dia excited sangat, dia menari. Okay, so meanwhile this one I'm going to do a pre-clean on my TM5. And also I have preheated my oven, which is behind me, at 180°C. 180°C, api atas bawah, heating up and down, and with the fan on. Hi Eileen. Okay, so now we have our dough here. What happened was when we turn it over, the dry side of the dough is now facing down and to the oiled part of the bowl. So all we need to do, all of these exposed dough, the wet part of the dough which is under the mixing bowl earlier, we just pull to the middle. Yeah, pull to the middle. And you can use this technique for handling any other sticky dough, because dough will always have a drier side and a wetter side. So all you need to do is to pull the wet side into one side, see, and then you pinch it, very nice pinch. Now it's all closed up, and now I can easily flip it and I get my beautiful oil dough, which should be easier to handle now. Okay, the other thing that I forgot to do was to pre-weigh my chocolate chips. Hari ni kabut sikit. Okay, tak apa. Chocolate chips I can put in my cup here. Kita nak timbang dia. For this recipe, 120 grams is already fine. Of course, you want to put more. Why not? But 120 is fine. No worries. I mean, chocolate chips, right? And I also tried this. I tried mixing the chips with the dough, but the results were not so good. I mean, it was nice in that you get the nice streaks of chocolate in your batter, but then it tends to melt some of my chocolate chips, especially if you're using good quality chocolate chips, and it's very hard to handle the dough. So now, what I'm going to do before I work with my dough is I'm going to portion off my chocolate chips. So this is what I ended up with. I'm actually gonna, as I shape my dough, I will insert the chocolate chips inside manually. It's easier than mixing it in with everything. So it's just a simple matter of dividing. Tak payah lah nak kira-kira. You just divide half and half and half. Remember my method? First we divide into half because we're going to make 16. So we divide the 120 grams into 2. So when we divide into 2, and each 2 becomes 2, 2, 2 until we get total of 16. So now I have 2, 4, 6, 8. So each one will be half, half, half. Then when we do it that way, then more or less everybody gets the same amount of chocolate chips. And tak adalah ada anak komplain lagi, Mama, how come roti ni banyak chocolate chip, roti ni tak ada chocolate chip. I know, right? Mommies, we never get a break. But also, Mommy will also be sad if Mommy gets the bread with very little chocolate chips. So it works for everybody, not just for Mommy. Not just the kids, but also the kids' Mommy. Okay, so I'm portioning my chocolate chips now. For those who just joined, I'm making today my quick and easy chocolate chip bun. It's a variation on my, obviously, quick and easy soft bun. So it's soft, it's chocolatey, and it's quick. What's not to love, right? Okay. So lebih kurang macam ni. If you feel there's one pile that looks a bit sad, then you kita donate sikit lah dekat pile yang tu. Okay, more or less macam ni. Senang nak buat kerja. And then kita punya dough tu, we do the same division method. It's like cell division, ciwa. So we take the entire dough and then we divide it lebih kurang half. This is for eating, it's not for selling, so we don't have to weigh this. So now we have it into half, and then I will divide this half into half until I get 8 pieces. So now I have 2. So the 2 becomes 4. Okay, and then I'm going to divide each one into 2 so that we get 8 pieces. Okay, we're going to start with the 8 pieces before we shape the other half. Otherwise, the dough dia akan naik cepat sangat, and then kita tak terkejar nak shape dia. Okay, So now we take one piece and I'm gonna flatten it on my palm like this because I chose the smoother side. But this part ada chocolate, tak berapa cantik pun orang akan maafkan. People will forgive you if it's not so pretty. So I flatten it like this and then I pick a random pile. And then I'm gonna put some on my, I'm gonna put about half of it in this first pile because when we lipat-lipat like this, when we fold like this, okay, so most of it is in there. And then as I go along, I'll add a bit more. And you can see that my dough has relaxed sufficiently enough that it's quite easy to shape it. It's not so sticky. See, I'm moving slowly now. And add my final chocolate chip. And then you just pinch everything together at the back. Try to do it slowly and gently because we don't want all the chocolate chips to start poking holes on your bun. And you have one there, okay? And then we start with the next one. So another one, flatten. Tak payah mat pun tak apa. Then we get another pile of chips. Super easy kan? Okay, and then we like lipat-lipat this bit, we fold it a bit, and then we add a bit more so that we have layers of chocolate chips when you bite into it. It's a lovely surprise. And then finally we close it off. So like this one, you will see when there's a bit too much and you can stop adding chips. And you pinch that off. And voila. Okay, so we're going to do more of this. Flatten. Chips in the middle. This one will get extra. Oh yo, whoever gets this will be so lucky. Get a lump of chocolate chips in the middle there. Untung. Alhamdulillah, rezeki dia. Itu dia. And there we go. Very easy. And then I'm just gonna do the rest with the rest of it. Siapa yang tak nampak, I boleh ni lagi. Boleh buat Adrina, sempat je. Cuma tadi, resipi sama, cuma I add gula instead of my 2 tablespoons. I made, I use 60 grams, which is about 4 tablespoons. Sebab I try kalau dia tak manis, dia kurang sedap. Because you know, the filling is quite sweet. Even though this is dark chocolate chip. Oh, if you're using milk chocolate chip, then maybe you don't want your dough to be too sweet. And every family's level of sweetness pun it varies can. So just like that. And this one, up to you also if you want to do milk egg wash or not. Some of it will be lumpy like this, but it's so good to see all the chocolate chips poking out, okay? And now as you go along, you will see that the dough relaxes further and it's much easier to work with. In fact, you have to work faster because it's dia makin kembang, it's expanding. This is why a lot of people they ask, oh, your Thermomix, what's the maximum it can do? Maximum is 1 kg of flour every time, but best practice is half a kg. And as you can see, the limitation is not the Thermomix, the limitation is us. Macam ni kan, this is 430 grams of flour and I dah tak terkejar. Tak terkejar nak buat because of the powerful motor. Now it's just starting to get very nice and fluffy so fast. We are the ones that have to work fast to keep up with it. Otherwise tak sempat nak shaping the dough and it will go overproofed, and we don't want to do that because when it once they overproof, satu sama ada they collapse or kedua bau yeast too will be overwhelming. That's when you get the bread that smells so much like yeast, and it's not so appetizing lah. So we try to work faster. Okay, so super easy technique, right? There you go. And of course, if you want to change your portion, how many pieces, up to you lah, but I just thought I'd stick to my 16 because if I make it any smaller, then it takes more time. And as you can see now, I'm hardly catching up. And this one also is puffing up. See, the other half is puffing up so much. It's threatening to reach the top of the bowl already. That's how good the dough mixed with the Thermomix is. And this also shows that with a single bread recipe, you can make slight tweaks here and there, and you can have different variants very easily. And it's just up to your imagination. You don't have to go and find another recipe. Like this one, because I saw a friend, she sent to me a photo of chocolate chip buns lah, but she said it's a recipe that she found in the internet, and she said she was having difficulty handling the dough. And I thought to myself, you know, the base dough is my base dough is already fine. Tak perlu nak susah-susah. It's just a matter of figuring out how to tweak it to make it suitable for chocolate chips. So maybe you want to do like pandan. You can do like half of it white, half of it with a bit of pandan juice or pandan extract, and then you fill it up with kelapa. Sedap tu. Sounds like a good idea. See, now that's why when we show things with the Thermomix, we always show the simple ones, because the focus is not on the recipe. Actually, the focus is on the machine's capability. Like normally we would show for example, in most of our cooking shows, we would show steam buns. Why steam buns? Because not everybody has an oven, and when we do our shows, we do it anywhere. It can be a shopping mall, it can be somebody's house, maybe it's an office, and there may not be an oven. I've even done in a hospital. And so we do the steam buns mainly because we want to show how easy it is to do bread. You know, you have your integrated weighing scale, you can have guided cooking, you can have very fast kneading but very powerful. And from there we can start to imagine what else we can do with it. Because if I'm to show you that all the types of bread that the Thermomix can do, I think 1 year, not even in a year, I don't think I can finish it all, because they keep adding to the recipes. Now it's like total they have 65,000 recipes. It's like every day is Christmas Day. You wake up to new recipes every day. So nice. You invest in the Thermomix once, and then every day you get new recipes. Oh my goodness, for only about 40 cents per day. Isn't that amazing? And you get 1 month free trial with your Thermomix plus 6 months free subscription. So awesome. Okay, sikit je lagi. Sorry, tak terkejar. Oh my god, I'm so amazed with your dough. No, it's not about the magic finger. It's about after the dough has relaxed after some time, it will be like this. Dia akan ni. Adlina, you try, and then you will see that your dough will also become this soft. I'm using the exact same quantities that I share with you. Nothing special that I add on. If I go to your house and we mix it, it will be like this. After some time, the dough will relax enough that it's not sticky anymore. Do this now, because by the time I start baking, dia memang akan jadi macam ni. It's not about magic fingers, it's more of understanding your dough. Because when I first started also, it was a challenge for me. Macam-macam I try. Susahnya. Yeah, I said that. I said this dough, it's so sticky. But actually, as time moves on, and then you understand your dough better, then you see that it's not really difficult at all. like raising a child lah. First time you get a child kan, it's like, oh, it's so difficult. Oh, those people younger mothers, you're so lucky now you've got internet. Our time, buku je ada, but then you know, how much can you read in one book, and not necessarily every book has the answer to everything. So middle of the night you cannot Google, and then I asked my mom, and then she was saying, I've forgotten already. It's been years since I've had babies. So it was very tough. I was, suffice to say, I was a regular in the clinic near our house. Sikit-sikit lari pergi klinik. So, have you tried shaping into bread loaf? Loaf tak pernah pula sebab yang ni my concept is quick and easy. Jadi easy means in the morning bila siap je, the kids will just grab how many buns they want, and I don't have to slice anymore. Whereas if it's in a loaf form, nak kena tunggu sejuk lagi, nak kena slice lagi, masalah lain pula. So for this bun, I never actually tried yet. Why don't you try and let me know? Okay, so sikit je lagi. It's very nice. You can see as time goes on, it becomes more pliable and less sticky. That's the gluten at work. This is why also when you want to go gluten-free baking is not just a matter of replacing the flour with gluten-free flour. It's a lot more than that, because once you use gluten-free flour, you don't get this structure, the stretchy, airy structure. You will get more like a cake. It's more cake-like, yes, I would say that. And sometimes it's it doesn't even look like a cake. It's just a lump, a watery lump. Kita pun the experiment kan, because I had a friend who was who would only take gluten-free bread, and it's not easy. So it's not just a matter of you see a recipe, you find a gluten-free flour, and then you replace the flour. No, it's not that easy. Okay, so sikit je lagi. And as you saw earlier, my Thermomix, because I haven't been using it, dia ada warning dah. Because of inactivity, dia nak shut down. That is for energy saving and also safety. Because now you don't have to worry about your, unlike your stove, kalau kita terlupa nak matikan, Allah. One of these days I'm going to show you what happened to my hood, because I forgot that I was preheating my cast iron pan. I was preheating some oil in my cast iron pan, and I was frosting a cake. So you know lah, bila baker dah sibuk dengan cake, terlupa pasal pan tu, and then suddenly I could smell something burning, and it wasn't just normal burning, there was burning plastic. It turns out the oil has heated up so much, because it's cast iron pan kan, it heated up so much, and the flames shot up and was starting to burn my hood punya filter. So terrifying. Okay, so we have this batch now, and kalau nak cepat lagi, this is where I have my mini thermoserver, which I filled with hot water. And oh, I forgot, I should have shown you earlier. Actually, I was struggling to open it because somehow the heat, dia macam ada vacuum effect tau. And I will put it in here. Let me get my thermomat. So what I'm doing now is I'm speeding up the process of the dough, the second proofing. If you are really in a hurry, like in the morning, you can just put it in now, or ideally you wait until they are like they filled up the baking tin, and are like close to each other, from social distancing to being so close. And if you don't have a thermomat, you can also use a damp cloth, or I don't like the idea of a cling wrap, because it's very bad for the environment. Did you know that cling wrap cannot be recycled? But even so, is my battery still enough? Can, should be okay. I think it's my other phone that died, but it's fine. So this one we leave behind. we leave this for a while, and remember we actually have another batch of dough in here. Look at how much it has expanded in such a short period of time. That is the power of Thermomix kneading for you. You can't get that with normal mixer, because I've had bread makers, I've had mixers. Even if I'm not selling Thermomix, I will still say the same thing about Thermomix, because it's just so amazing what it can do with bread. Ask any Thermomix maker and then ask Thermomix owner, and they will say the bread is outstanding. Even non-bakers will start to bake bread. So I'll do the same thing here. I remove the base. I let this fall down. I'm not going to do the whole thing, but I'm just going to show you. See, once this one had a bit more time to relax, so practically everything came out. I don't even have to scrape anymore. And okay, we just fish out the blade very carefully, and then we can do pre-cleaning over here. But I'll do it later. We're just gonna bake our, oh yeah, next we'll do it now. So just fill it up with water, about 500 grams. So if you missed it the first time, if you just joined us, I'm making my quick and easy chocolate bun, okay? And this is the dough. Remember the wet side, we pull the dry side all to the wet side. Put it together, put it together, put it together, put it together, and pinch. So it helps if you oil one hand. Okay, so you have pinched it here, and I'm gonna flip it. Beautiful, so easy. So meanwhile, I'm gonna take a peek at our bread here. Sikit je lagi, sikit lagi. Okay, so while waiting, let me wash my hands a bit, because I want to grease my other baking thing. So while waiting, maybe you can share with me, or you can ask me some questions. Let me attach my charger so that I can talk to you on my other phone. My phone actually died, my goodness. Boys, can you please get me my laptop so that I can chat with people? No need for the plug, I think we have enough battery. Because I actually have two devices. One is pointing towards me, but I cannot see you. That's why I need to have a second device so that I can see you and see what's happening. So I'm gonna grease the other tin. I have a bit of chocolate here, it's fine. I'm just gonna dump it into the dough, and I'm gonna grease the dough here. Okay, so common problems. One of the things that I frequently get asked is, how come my buns, they don't turn out nice and golden like yours? Okay, and for that, what I always answer is, I always ask if they have an oven thermometer, because I've been to so many houses in the 2 years that I've been with Thermomix, and I've tried so many types of ovens, from the expensive to the inexpensive, the big ones to the small ones, and they all share one trait. They're all different. So sometimes you think that the setting is correct. Okay, my sons are shy and do not wish to appear in my social media. Come. Thank you. Oh, okay. Hi. That's my eldest. I have 5 boys, by the way. 5 boys and 1 girl. So you will be. I need you to be muted. This is just so I can see you and I can talk to you. Okay, so yeah, we were talking about how come dia punya buns tu tak cukup brown kan? It's because she thought she set it for 180, but actually That's my analysis lah. It's not 180. That's why maybe the baking takes longer. And then sebab tu the color, or maybe it was the maybe dia punya heating sebelah bawah je, or maybe the upper element is not hot enough. But it helps if you have an oven thermometer. It doesn't cost much. You can buy from your local baking shop. It's about 14-15 ringgit. Maybe I have one I can show you how it looks like. No, I don't have. It's in my oven. Okay, so I've measured our chocolate chips, and this one we'll do pre-cleaning shortly. Okay, any other questions that I can possibly answer? Let's see. Any questions about bread baking that you might want to ask me? Please write out in the chat and I'll try to answer it. My internet is unstable. Wow. Please load. Let's try 2.4G. Is it better? Please load, please load. What about my other phone? Okay, it's turning on. Ada harapan. Because I still cannot see you and I cannot see if they have any questions. We are currently waiting for this bread to proof so that we can bake it in the oven. But anyway, let's pretend that your kids are going to be late for school soon. And then we estimate that we have about 15 minutes to bake. So this is good enough to send to the oven already. And I'm not going to add any egg wash this time. I'm just going to put this straight away into the oven. So that should be around 15 minutes of baking. And then what you can do is you can set alarms using your phone, or you can set, if you have TM5, you can use it to set 15 minutes, your timer. The internet is not working on my phone. 2.4 is not working. Let's try 5G. Oh yeah, finally it's done. Okay, any questions? Oh, Shuhad, wait, Ikin, can I omit the milk powder as I don't have any? Yes, you can, just that it won't be as rich lah, because you know it goes together with the chocolate. But they can, without it also can. But do not replace milk powder with the liquid milk, unless maybe, yeah, you can also do that. Like the water is supposed to be 250, then maybe you can do like 200, 230. Sikit sangat. No. Just do water and then you skip the milk, no problem. Okay, sounds good. I might want to try to make a loaf juga lah. Nak tahu juga lah buat loaf ni. So any questions about bread baking that maybe I can help you with? Did you have any problems? Yeah. Oh yeah, do you like my mini thermos server? So it can fit 1 liter of apa-apalah 1 liter punya volume, and you can actually get it now for a discounted price of 88 ringgit only. If I'm not mistaken, it costs about 280 if you buy it. You want to know how? Super easy. You just call for me, your friends. Ask them to join my Saturday cooking experience, or I can go to your house, kita main masak-masak, ikut SOP, pakai mask, duduk jauh-jauh. I'll cook for you, let you and your friends makan. Isn't that nice? I go to your house and I cook for you, you know, and then you get this thermos server some more for a discounted price of only 88 ringgit. And it's so nice. You know what makes it so nice? It can keep hot food hot and cold food cold. So now I'm playing with I'm playing with fire because I didn't portion my chocolate chips, but I think I can aga-aga already. So what we're doing now is we are waiting for the first batch of sorry about that. My first batch of bread to be done because I know you guys want to see the outcome. I tried it before. I make bread and then I tell you I post later, but you still want to see, so okay lah. So for those who just joined, the recipe is very simple. 250 grams of water, 60 grams of sugar, 2 teaspoons of dried yeast, 30 grams of oil, preferably neutral oil. Don't use extra virgin olive oil because the aroma will be too strong. And then you add to it, and then you activate it for 2 minutes, 37 degrees Celsius, heat 2. And then you add 1 egg, 430 grams of bread flour, and a teaspoon of salt. And also, preferably if you have 20 grams of milk powder. It's good to have milk powder because you can also use it for other bread recipes. It actually adds some flavor. And also you can use the milk powder to make your own condensed milk, which is so much better than commercially bought condensed milk because it's very difficult to find condensed milk now. Normally what you see in the market is creamer. And they call it creamer because if you read the ingredients, it's actually mostly sugar and palm oil. It's very scary lah. They package all sorts of things. They call it different name. Actually, you're feeding us with more oil and sugar. And you know, that's why Malaysia is one of the highest, if not the highest, diabetes rates in the whole of Southeast Asia, because we have so much hidden sugar everywhere. Like by yogurt can they shout about how it's 0% fat, but then they don't say anything about the 17 grams of sugar per tub of those yogurt that you eat and you feed to your kids. So very sneaky, in the name of profit. So better to make your own yogurt and make your own bread because the Thermomix makes it oh so easy. This is why for the next 2 weeks, oh yeah, baru teringat. For the next 2 weeks, we will do from, is it today? Is today the third? Tomorrow. Tomorrow's the big launch. We have a big launch of our latest showcase, which we call Back to Basics. So in this showcase, we're actually going to show you how easy it is to make your everyday essential items. You know, stuff like pizza dough. I used to buy pizza dough. Sedih, tak sedap, tapi you know, teringin juga nak buat homemade pizza kan. So it's the next best thing. I would buy frozen pizza dough and then I put the toppings that I want, and at least I get better cheese lah, as compared to the cheese that I get from cheese outside. And then I had the Thermomix, 2 minutes I can make my pizza dough. So stuff like that, like pizza dough, chicken stock, curry powder. Did you know you can make curry powder here very easily and you don't need a recipe plate? We will show you that also. I don't want to tell more what's the launch going to be, but we're going to show you a huge range of these everyday items tomorrow 3 p.m. live on Facebook. I will share it in my own personal link, but yeah, I will share the link. I'll be cooking also. I'm gonna be making, I will not say anything lah. But you're gonna be so excited. All the daily things, mungkin you tak terfikir, contohnya, I will stop saying lah, but yeah, one of those things that, you know, normally you keep in your pantry, or when you buy, you always, it's like by default, you should always have that in your kitchen, you know, as essential as basic as having like garlic, onion, salt, pepper, contohnya lah. Then you have some other things that you always have in your kitchen, and you don't realize that, I can make it myself so easily with the Thermomix. things like okay, so this one because I made it the other day, peanut butter. I mean, maybe it's not an essential for many of you, but for families with small children, it is close to an essential. And now it's so expensive because I haven't bought in a long time, in 2 years. I was so shocked to see one jar like 16 ringgit. And it's, if in my house, if I don't control it, in less than a day that will be finished. Whereas if I make my own, my goodness, it's only how many grams of peanuts, and then I get to control the sweetness. I can use honey instead of sugar, and I can opt not to have any oil in it. In fact, when my son was making his sandwich this morning, he was complaining. He said, "Mama, why is this so difficult to spread?" And I told him, you know why it's difficult to spread? Because I didn't add any oil to it. I said, would you rather have store-bought peanut butter that's very easy to spread, but it's spreadable because of all the oil? And he said no. That made sense, right? So would you feed your child peanut butter which contains an enormous amount of oil just for it to be spreadable? Okay, so the bread's done. I'm gonna wash my hands because we're gonna rub it with butter now. Yeah, ini letak tepi. Okay. Quick tip, nak tahu dia dah masak ke belum? Ketuk sikit. Yes, it sounds hollow, should be done. So now it looks like this. Remember I didn't use any egg wash. Hang on. So I'm gonna grab some butter from the fridge. And I have this ada butter sikit. Quick and easy namanya. So so you just take your butter. Tak payah nak ambil pastry brush punya. Of course, if you're doing this in front of, ini rumah punya, pretend I'm doing this for my friends at home. So you just rub it with your directly. Tapi kalau nak proper sikit, okay lah kita ambil kita punya. Kalau tak tahan, kita ambil pastry brush. Tapi susah lah sebab dia keras kan. So I just do it like that, so it will melt. And then I sapu-sapu like that. Sister Mariana, of course lah, I cannot tell you everything, otherwise the surprise will be gone. So just join us tomorrow 3 p.m. and you will see our launch for Back to Basics. You're gonna have fun. We're gonna have such a diverse range of everyday items, and you'll be like, what? I can do that with my Thermomix? Yes! So this is why we always say that you get so much from this single investment, you get so much from it, and your grocery bill actually goes down. And you get to eat better quality food. Oh, beautiful. So, sekejap je kita punya roti dah siap. Tada! Bila dah make up cantik kan? Beza kan? Okay. Where is my cooling rack? Sebab I tahu you all nak tengok the finished product. I have to show this to you. Alamak. I use my spatula lah. Makan dia. Hai, Sister Adlina. Yes, sama lah kita. I mean, nak cepat kan? Okay, so I'm just gonna take this one. Satu je. Sabar. I'll flip this over nanti, I malu. Tengok tu. Look at that. Terlihat tak? Oh, panas gila. So I'm just gonna open it up to show you how. Oh, it's so hot. Oh, so beautiful. So very soft dough, and you have the bits of chocolate chips in between. Heaven in a bun. Alhamdulillah. And how can we deny any of these favors when we enjoy some of these small treats? So Bismillah. Oh, I shouldn't tiup, not good. So, yang ni dah cukup. So good. Try this today, nanti menyesal. Kalau tak buat malam nanti, termimpi. Sampai termimpi. Lemak sedapnya, Mimi punya chocolate chip bun. Kenapa lah I tak buat tadi? Sedap sangat sampai I kena cakap dengan anak-anak, ha. I made one today, you all get X number of pieces each only. So I hope you had fun like I did. Join me again. Join me tomorrow as we launch our Back to Basics showcase. This is Mimi, Quick and Easy Cooking with Mimi, signing off. Assalamualaikum and good afternoon to everyone.